Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishkam Vidam Cha Om Jnana Timaranda Shagana Jana Shalakya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Sapurakam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanagam Govinabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwakurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Shelan Shitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vanditam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Manchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is the Madhya-lila, chapter 3, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Adwaita Acharya. Begin with verse number 1. Nyasam vidayot pranayota goro vrindavanam gantu manav brahmadyaha radhe brahman shanti purim ayitva lalasa bhaktar ihatam natosmi. After accepting the sannyas order of life, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, wanted to go to Vrindavan, but apparently, by mistake, he wandered in Radha Desh. Later, he arrived at Shantipur and enjoyed himself there with his devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here it mentions he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but he was wandering in Radha Desh. Radha Desh is on the western side of the Ganga, and Hapania and Bamanpar, they would be considered part of like Radha Desh, I believe. So after accepting the sannyas order of life, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, wanted to go to Vrindavan, but apparently by mistake he wandered in Radha Desh. Later he arrived at Shantipur and enjoyed himself there with his devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, Apani is where Sridhar Maharaj, his appearance place is where he was born, and also Mamanpar is that of Govinda Maharaj. So Sunday. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Adwaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda, all glories to Adwaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas. So specifically, we could say Radha Desh means he'll be guided towards the house of Adwaita Acharya in Shantipur. So all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Adwaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas. Chabish Vatsara Shesha Jay Magamas Tara Shukla Pake Prabhu Korila Sannyas. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, it's around January, At the end of his 24th year in the month of Magh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order during the waxing period of the moon. After the Purnima, that's the waning period of the moon, and after Amavasya, that's the waxing period of the moon. So, Sannyas Kori Premaveshe Chalila Brindavan Radhadesh Teen Deen Korila Brahman. After accepting the sannyas order, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, started for Vrindavan. However, he mistakenly wandered about in a trance continuously for 3 days in the tract of land known as Radhadesh. The word Radhadesh comes from the word Rashtra, or state. From Rashtra, the corrupted word Radha has come. The part of Bengal on the western side of the Ganges is known as Radhadesh. Another name is Pondradesh or Pendodesh. The word Pendu is a corrupted form of the word Pondra. It appears that the capital of Rashtradesh was situated in that part of Bengal. Shloka Pare Prabhu Bhavera Aveshe Brahmite Pavitra Koila Sab Radhadeshe. Passing through the tract of land known as Radhadesh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the following verse in ecstasy. Etam sa astaya paratma nishtam adyasitam purvatamayer mahadbi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. As a Brahmin from Avanti Desh said, I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas, who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In connection with this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says that of the 64 items required for rendering devotional service, acceptance of the symbolic marks of sannyas is a regulative principle. If one accepts the sannyas order, his main business is to devote his life completely to the service of Mukunda, Krishna. If one does not completely devote his mind and body to the service of the Lord, he does not actually become a sannyasi. It is not simply a matter of changing dress. In Bhagavad Gita it is also stated, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiya sannyasi cha yogi cha. One who works devotedly for the satisfaction of Krishna is a sannyas. The dress is not sannyas, but the attitude of service to Krishna is. The word Paramatmanishta means being a devotee of Lord Krishna. Paramatma, the Supreme Person, is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Those who are completely dedicated to the lotus feet of Krishna in service are actually sannyasis. As a matter of formality, the devotee accepts the sannyas dress, as previous acharyas did. He also accepts the 3 dandas. Later, Vishnu Swami considered that accepting the dress of a Tridandi sannyas, of a Tridandi, was Paramatmanishta. Therefore, sincere devotees add another danda, the Jiva danda, to the 3 existing dandas. The Vaishnava sannyasi is known as Tridandi sannyasi. The Mayavadi sannyasi accepts only one danda, not understanding the purpose of Tridanda. Later, many persons in the community of Shiva Swami gave up the Atmanishta devotional service of the Lord and followed the path of Shankaracharya. Instead of accepting 108 names, those in the Shiva Swami Sampradaya follow the path of Shankaracharya and accept the 10 names of sannyas. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the then existing order of sannyas, namely Ekadanda, he still recited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam about the Tridanda sannyas accepted by the Brahman of Avantipur. Indirectly, he declared that within that Ek Danda, one Danda, four Dandas existed as one. Accepting Ekadanda sannyas without Paramatma Nishta, devotional service to Lord Krishna, is not acceptable to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In addition, according to the exact regulative principles, one should add the Jiva Danda to the Tridanda. These four Dandas, bound together as one, are symbolic of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Because the Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavad school are not devoted to the service of Krishna, they try to merge into the Brahmana Phochas, which is a marginal position between material and spiritual existence. They accept the impersonal position as liberation. Mayavadi sannyasis, not knowing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Tridandi, think of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an Ekadandi sannyasi. This is due to their vivarta, bewilderment. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no such thing as an Ekadandi sannyasi. Indeed, the Tridandi sannyasi is accepted as the symbolic representation of the sannyas order. By citing this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order recommended by Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadi sannyasi, the Mayavadi sannyasis who are enamored of the external energy of the Lord cannot understand the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To date, all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following in his footsteps, accept the sannyas order and keep the sacred thread and tuft of unshaven hair. That's the shika. The Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavadi school give up the sacred thread and do not keep any tuft of hair. Therefore, they are unable to understand the purport of Tridandi sannyas, and as such, they are not inclined to dedicate their lives to the service of Mukunda. They simply think of merging into the existence of Brahman because of their disgust with material existence. They simply think of merging into the existence of Brahman because of their disgust with material existence. The Acharyas who advocate the Daiva Varnashrama, the social order of Chatur Varnyam mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, do not accept the proposition of Asura Varnashrama, which maintains that the social order of Varna is indicated by birth. The most intimate devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Gadadhar Pandit, accepted Tridanda sannyas and also accepted Madhava Upadhyaya as his Tridandi sannyasi disciple. It is said that from this Madhvacharya, okay, I'll read this again. The most intimate devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Gadadhar Pandit, accepted Tridanda sannyas and also accepted Madhava Upadhyaya as his Tridandi sannyasi disciple. It is said that from this Madhvacharya, the sampradaya known in Western India as the Vallabhacharya sampradaya, has begun. Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who is known as the Smriti Acharya in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya later accepted the Tridanda sannyas order from Tridandipad Prabhudananda Saraswati. Although acceptance of Tridanda sannyas is not distinctly mentioned in the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, the first verse of Sri Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita advocate that one should accept the Tridanda sannyas order by concealing the six forces. Vacho Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udara Pashta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dira, Sarvam Apinam, Prativim Sasishad. One who can control the forces of speech, mind, anger, belly, tongue, and genitals is known as a Goswami and is competent to accept disciples all over the world. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accepted the Mayavad order of sannyas, and for this they cannot be blamed. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Sridhar Swami, who was a Tridandi sannyasi, but the Mayavadi sannyasis, not understanding Sridhar Swami, sometimes think that Sridhar Swami belonged to the Mayavad Ekadanda sannyas community. Actually, this was not the case. No. Prabhu Kohe Saru E Bikura Bachan Makunda Sevana Brata Koila Nirdaran. I read that verse because it's an explanation of a very important verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Etam sa astaya paratmanishtam adyasitam purvatam mayer mahadibi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangre nasheva yaiva. As a Brahmin from Avanti Desh said, I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas, who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of God. Well, this verse is from the 11th canto, and the story of the Brahmin from Avantipur. When we took sannyas, we were given this verse to meditate upon or to understand what is sannyas. So in that respect, we read this little bit of a long purport by Srila Prabhupada explaining the meaning of that verse. Etam samastaya paratmanishtam. We read that. Prabhu ko he sarue bikura bachan makunda sevana brata koila nirdaran. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved the purport of this verse on account of the determination of the mendicant devotee to engage in the service of Lord Mukunda. He gave his approval of this verse, indicating that it was very good. Paratmanishta matra Veshadanana Mukunda Sevaya Hoy Samsaratanana. The real purpose of accepting sannyas is to dedicate oneself to the service of Mukunda. By serving Mukunda, one can actually be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Sevesha Koila Ebe Vrindavana Giya Krishna Nishevana Kore Nibrete Vasya. After accepting the sannyas order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindavan and engage himself wholly and solely in the service of Mukunda in a solitary place. Eta bole chale Prabhu prema premandera china dikvidi gyanas nahi kiva ratri dine. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest in his. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was en route to Vrindavan, all the ecstatic symptoms became manifest, and he did not know in which direction he was going, nor did he know whether it was day or night. Nityananda Acharya Ratna Mukunda Tinjan Prabhu Pache Pache Tine Koranagaman. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went toward Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar, and Prabhu Mukunda followed him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through Radhadesh, whoever saw him in ecstasy exclaimed, Hari, Hari. As they chanted this with the Lord, all the unhappiness of material existence diminished. Gopa Balak Sab, Prabhu Ke Dekiya, Hari Hari Bole Dake, Uchakoriya. All the cowherd boys who saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passing joined with him and began to shout loudly, Hari, Hari! Shunita Sabar Nikata Gela Gora Hari, Bo Bo Bole Sabar Shire Hastadori. When he heard all the cowherd boys also chanting, Hari, Hari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He approached them, put his hand on their heads and said, go on chanting like that. Tasabar Stuti Kore Tomar Bhagyavan Kritartha Korile Mora Shunaya Harinam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus blessed them all, saying that they were all fortunate. In this way, he praised them, and he felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. Gupteta Sabake Ami, Gupteta Sabake Ani, Takura Nityananda Shikaila Sabakare Korea Prabhavanda. Gupteta Sabakayani Takura Nityananda Shikaila Sabakare Korea Prabhavanda. Calling all the boys in confidence and telling a reasonable story, Nityananda Prabhu instructed them as follows. Vrindavana Pata Prabhu Puchana Tomare Gangatira Pata Tabe Dekaha Tare. If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked you about the path to Vrindavan, please show him the path on the bank of the Ganges instead. So Mahaprabhu wants to go to Vrindavan, but Nityananda Prabhu is instructing everyone along the path in Radhadesh that if Mahaprabhu asked you which way to Vrindavan, just guide him towards the Ganga. That's not the way to Vrindavan, but that's what Nityananda asked them to do. If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked you about the path to Vrindavan, please show him the path on the bank of the Ganges instead. Tabe Prabhu Puchilena Shuna Sishugan Kahadeki Kon Pate Jaba Vrindavan Sishu Sab Ganga Tira Pata de Kaila Se Pate Ave Tabe Prabhu Puchilena Shuna Sishugan Kahadeki Kon Pate Jaba Vrindavan Sishu Sab Ganga Tira Pata Dekaila Se Pate Aveshe Prabhu Gamana Korila. When the cowherd boys were questioned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the path to Vrindavan, the boys showed him the path on the bank of the Ganges, and the Lord went that way in ecstasy. So Mahaprabhu didn't know which way he was traveling, where he was going, whether it was day or night. He was in complete ecstasy. So he asked, But his desire was to go to Vrindavan, which is still a long ways away. But he asked the cowherd boy by the Ganga and in that Radhadesh, which way to Vrindavan? Oh, this way. And they point him towards the Ganga, towards Shandipur, towards direction of Adwaita Acharyas. Acharya Ratnere Kohe Nityananda Gosai Shidra Jahatumi Adwaita Charjaratai. As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, Sri Nityananda Prabhu asked Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar Acharya to go immediately to the house of Adwaita Acharya. Prabhu loye jab ami tahara mandire savadane rohanjena no gloya tire. Sri Nityananda Goswami told him, I shall take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganges at Shandipur, and Adwaita Acharya should carefully stay there on shore with a boat. Tabe Nabadwip tumi Korea Gaman Sachi Saha Loya Aisha Sabhaktagan. After this, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Adwaita Acharya's house, and you should go to Nabadwip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. So Nityananda says, I'll go to Adwaita Acharya's house, and I'll see that everything is made nice for the arrival of Mahaprabhu. We'll make all preparations. And you go. And he tells, and then Nityananda Prabhu tells to Acharya Ratna, no. Okay, and then I shall go to Adwaita Acharya's house, and you should go to Nabadwip and return with Mother Sachi and all the devotees. He asked Acharya Ratna or Chandrasekhar to make those arrangements. Tare Pataya Nityananda Mahashai Mahaprabhur Ageyashi Dila Parichai. After sending Acharya Ratna to the house of Adwaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. So now Mahaprabhu has been wandering, and now Nityananda presents himself in front of Mahaprabhu. And Prabhu kohe Sripad tomara katake gaman, Sripad kohe tomara sange jab Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda Prabhu replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda Prabhu replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavan. So now, proper time, Nityananda Prabhu presents himself in front of Adwaita, in front of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is surprised. Where are you going? He says, I'm going with you to Vrindavan. But they're actually much closer to Nabadwip than to Vrindavan. Prabhu kohe kata dure ache Vrindavan teho katan kora e jamuna darshan. When the Lord asked Nityananda Prabhu how far it was to Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu replied, just see, here is the river Jamuna. It's not the river Jamuna, but it's the river Ganga. But he says, how much further? Oh, you're very near. Here's the river Jamuna. Nityananda Prabhu says it. Etabole anila tare Ganga sanadane aveshe prabhura koila gangare jamuna gyane. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took Mahaprabhu near the Ganges, and the Lord, in his ecstasy, accepted the river Ganges as the river Jamuna. Aho Bhagya Yamunare Pailun Darashan Ganga Tire. So Nityananda told Mahaprabhu that the Ganges is the Jamuna. Aho Bhagya Yamunare Pailun Darshan Etabole Yamunara Korana Stavan. The Lord said, "Oh, what good fortune! Now I have seen the river Jamuna." Thus thinking the Ganges to be the river Jamuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to offer prayers to it. Chidananda Bano Sarananda Shuno Parama Prema Patri Drava Brahmagatri Aganam Kavitri Jagad Shemadatri Pavitri Kriya No Vipur Mitra Putri. O river Jamuna, you are the blissful spiritual water that gives love to the son of Nanda Maharaj. You are the same as the water of the spiritual world, for you can vanquish all our offenses and the sinful reactions incurred in life. You are the creator of all auspicious things for the world. O daughter of the sun god, kindly purify us by your pious activities. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya.
Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan.
Jawate Vignana Shabishta Puran. Echai Gosai Jarmui Taradas.
Echai Gosai Jarmui Taradas.
Tasabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras.
Tasavara Padarenu Mora Panchagras.
Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas. Janame Janame More Abhilash.
Janame More Abhilash.
Echai Gosai Jarmui Taradas.
Echai Gosai Jarmui Taradas.
Tasavar Padarenu Mora Panchagras.
Tasavara Padarenu
Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas.
Tadera Charana
Janame Janame More Abilas
Janame Janame More Avila.
Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas
Echai Gosai Jave Braja Kolava.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan
Anande Bolo Hari Maya Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman
Sri Guru Vaishnava Pada Manjayaman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koryas
Sri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koryas.
Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamodas
Hari Nama Sankirtana Kohen Narotamanda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Haribo
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Haribo
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Okay, so this Friday is October 31st, but we have a special treat that we should have. Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj should be here with us, starting for these Chaitanya Charitamrita classes on Friday. So that'll be very nice. Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhara Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Acharya Ashtatara Sadashri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Acharya Ashtatara Sadashri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sudanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsi Gaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adwaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari.